Hey everyone, my name is Philippa. I am a native horticulturist and landscape designer, and I also work for Urban Harvest as a garden educator. Today I'm going to take you on a little tour of my garden and talk to you guys about why I have so many native plants, as well as give you three to start out with to grow in your garden in a full sun area. So let's take a look. What do I have growing here today? And before we move into the plants themselves, I do want to say that there are many reasons to grow native plants. I'll just give you my top three. So the main reason is that when you grow a native plant, you are attracting a wide array of native insects who can then become your task force, so to speak, in your garden where you're growing your food. So all those pesky aphids and annoying spider mites, they do have predators that will come and hunt them down. And before you grab that pesticide bottle, I want you to think about what sources of pollen and nectar are you providing to those predatory insects like those wasps and those ladybugs who will come and attack those pests for you. Another awesome benefit of growing native plants is that they have incredibly resilient root systems. Those root systems can go way down into the clay soil that we have and unlock minerals, nutrients, as well as moisture, which will help retain in the soil for the long term. They can also be known to help prevent erosion. And the third and personal favorite as a designer is to incorporate more interesting colors, textures, and patterns into your landscape. In other words, native plants are beautiful. So, my top three for growing in a full sun garden, which means they need about 6 to 8 hours of sunlight a day, are going to be the wine cup, the clasping coneflower, and the red cardinal sage. Attached to this video, you're going to see the photographs of all three of those plants, as well as their botanical names. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you why I'm giving you those botanical names. All right, first on my list is going to be the wine cup. This one is considered a ground cover because it likes to creep along the ground as opposed to growing upwards and vertically. So give it lots of room to spread out and make sure to admire the gorgeous fuchsia petals. You might even see our native solitary bumblebees looking out for that delicious pollen inside each flower. Okay, next one on my list is the showstopper, the clasping coneflower. You'll notice that this one grows very tall, and it has these vibrant yellow petals with a really interesting red maroon center. Here's another one for reference. Okay, the last one on my list is going to be the Salvia coccinea, and that's its botanical name. It's got these delicate red trumpet-like flowers, but please do not be fooled. This plant is far from delicate. It has a very robust stem, and it will grow just as tall as the clasping coneflower. And it does like to spread its seeds across the world. So if you start out with one Salvia coccinea, your entire neighborhood will eventually have them. I think it's a great thing, but it can be kind of annoying if you're going for an intentional look and you might not want as much red. So I gave you that last one, botanical name, because I want you guys to be acquainted with those names when you're out hunting for them at the nursery. A lot of times nurseries will sell native plants that have been unfortunately cultivated or hybridized for a different benefit that might not have the same ecological effect as your native plants. My prime example is a lot of times our native wildflowers are bred to have varieties with huge petals, but very small centers. So unfortunately, that means very less pollen for your native insects. Another one is the lantana bush that you might see in the nurseries. It's got this bright pink flower. Unfortunately, that's not our native lantana bush. And with that flower, if it's released in the wild, it can grow quite aggressively and is classified by many ecologists as an invasive plant. So again, be really sure to make sure you look out for the native plant's botanical name so that way you're getting the right one. In the next video, I'll talk about what are my top 3 native plants to grow in a partial shade garden with about 4 to 6 hours of sunlight a day. All right, until next time.